Hello students, good afternoon. So I am again with you with a new topic of our existing chapter, that is scientific forestry. Well, in the last class we have discussed about why deforestation, and after that Britishers what they have started, they have made Indian Forest Act and they have revised that Indian Forest Act. After that, they have categorized the forest into three parts. And then how the life that was changed of people, those who were depending on forest life. So in the next topic, just we start to discuss that how did the forest rules affect the cultivation. So in that particular time, what sort of cultivation that was done by the people of that time, that is of tribal people and even we can say Adivasis. So one of this was the one of the major impact of European colonialism, that was on the practice of shifting cultivation or Sweden cultivation. So this was the one of the cultivation that time it was practiced in India, and this was, we can say, the traditional agricultural practice in many part of not only in India but in Asian continent and even in Africa and South America also. It has many local names in different countries. It was known as different names. So we can say some of the names in different part of the world, that is Ladakh in Southeast Asia, Milpa in Central America, then Chitamin or Tavi in Africa, then China in Sri Lanka. In India also, this shifting cultivation that was known by different name. That is Dhya, Penda, Devar, then Zoom, Nevad, Podu, Khandad, and Kumri. These are the different names, or rather, these are the different local names of this shifting cultivation in different part of our country also. So in shifting cultivation, what actually people were doing? Shifting cultivation, by the name itself we can say people were shifting after for some years they were doing that cultivation in a particular area, and when the fertility of that soil reduces, that time they were shifting that place to another place. So basically in shifting cultivation, the tribal people, those who are living in forested area, they were selecting one patch of forestry land, they were cutting down the trees and they were burning them. So that ash, after burning, whatever ash that was left, that was acting as a fertilizer in that particular field. So before the arrival of monsoon, they were digging that particular part of that land and they were growing the seeds in that particular land. So this practice they were doing for 3 to 4 years, sometimes 2 to 3 years also at that particular place. But when the fertility that was decreased in that particular area, then they were shifting that activity from that earlier place to another place. And there also they were doing same activity, selecting that another patch, cutting the trees, then burning all those trees and doing the cultivation. So this practice they were doing for 12 to 18 years continuously at a particular place. After even shifting, So at a particular place they were doing this practice for 2 to 3 years. So altogether, for 5 to 6 times they were shifting that place. Again they were coming back at the initial position or at the initial place from where they have started. So in this way, that system is known as zoom system. They were coming back at the initial place from where they have started doing that cultivation at the starting point. So then also they were doing same thing. So this was the practice they were doing. So in different countries, mixed type of crops these tribal people were growing. For example, in central India and Africa, it could be the millets, means in central India and in Africa, tribal people were growing millets. In Brazil, manioc, and in other part of Latin America, that were maize and beans. So these were the different crops people were growing in this shifting cultivation. Then European people, what they have done with this shifting cultivation, they regard this practice as a harmful for the forest. They were thinking that this practice, whatever the tribal people are doing, that is very harmful for the forest. So they felt that land which is used for growing, for different type of crops, that could not grow better timber for their purposes. That is for railway use or even for making ships in Royal Navy. So they were thinking like that only. Whatever the people are growing crops in the forest, so that is they were not getting in that particular area, they were not getting any sort of timber for railway and even for making ships for Royal Navy. When the forests are burnt, means in the forest the trees were burnt, then the neighboring trees, they were also damaged by the flames of the fire. So this was another reason why the Britishers, they felt that this shifting cultivation is harmful for the forest. Then again, this was degrading the land also. This was degrading the land also, and the government, British government, they were finding difficulties to calculate the tax also when in the shifting cultivation, tribal people, they were cutting the trees. So in that case, the government decided to ban the shifting cultivation at that time. Then as a result, many people, they displaced from one place to another place because this was their livelihood. That's why they have shifted their place from their original place. So in that way, many people, they have changed their occupation also, and some have even done so many other things when their occupation was banned by Britishers. Then another impact, what was the main, that who could hunt in that particular time of restriction that were put by Britishers in India. So the new forest laws changed the lives of people, those who were living in forest, in another way. So before the forest law, many people who lived in and even in nearby forest, they were surviving by hunting so many animals like deers and other variety of small animals. So they were depending on this hunting, and because of the new forest laws, that hunting that was also banned in that way. So this customary practice that was prohibited by the forest law, this was a problem for these type of people, those who are depending on hunting only. Okay, we were discussing about the life of the people, those who are depending on hunting only, and their life that was also affected because hunting was also banned in this new forest law. But again the customary practice that was prohibited by the forest laws, the people still, those who are doing that practice, they were caught, and the punishment that was given to the people, those who are doing that hunting practice or poaching especially. But again, with the forest law that were implemented by Britishers, so in that case also, that forest law deprived the people of their customary rights to hunt, and that is especially hunting of big games that was earlier becoming a sport, especially in India. Especially in India, if we talk about the hunting of tigers and other animals, that had been a part of culture of the courts and even nobility for centuries. So in ancient period, we should know that how the kings and so many nobility people, they were just having, or they were fond of doing some sort of hunting all the way at that time. So many Mughal paintings shows that princes and emperors, how they were enjoying the hunting. But under colonial rule, but same time, under the colonial rule, almost large scale of hunting that was increased to such an extent that various type of species of animals that have become extincted. So many species that were extincted because of hunting was done during the particular Mughal period, and if even after the Mughal period under the colonial rule. So British saw it large animals as a sign of wild and primitive and even savage society. But at the same time, when these wild animals increased like anything, so that time Britishers, how they have seen it, large animals as a sign of wild and primitive. So for that, they believed that by killing these type of dangerous animals, that can be that can be the practice that was done by Britishers at that time, that that can survive the people of that time, those who are living in nearby forest areas. So for that, they have started giving the rewards for killing of the tiger, wolves, and other large animal on the ground that they posed a threat to cultivators. On which ground they have started giving reward to the people, those who will kill these type of wild animals. That means they will be given reward because they find that these are becoming a threat to the cultivators. Those who are cultivating different type of crops, for them they are becoming one sort of threat. So at that time, over 80,000 tigers, that is 1 lakh 50,000 leopards, and some 2 lakhs wolves were killed for reward in that period of 1875 to 1925. So gradually, what happened with this killing? Tigers that came to be seen as sporting trophy. Maharaja of Sarguja alone, he has shot 1157 tigers and even 2000 leopard up to to 1957. A British administrator, George Yule, also killed some 400 tigers. Initially, in certain areas, the forests were reserved for hunting, but only much later, some environmentalists and some conservators, they began to argue that all these species, they need to be protected, but they should not be killed. So this was the life of the people, those who could hunt at that time, and how the Britishers, they have started giving reward for killing these type of wild animals. Then again, because of new forest law, so many new trades that were implemented or that were started, new type of employment started, and even new services also started in India when the forest laws were enacted. While people lost many of the ways after these forest law that were implemented and the forests were under control of Britishers. So some people in that, how they were benefited from these new opportunities, they have opened many other trades when the new forest laws were implemented. Many communities left their traditional occupation and they have started trading in new forest products when the forest laws were enacted. This happened not only in India but across the world. For example, this was happened not only in India but again in other countries like Africa. What happened in Africa? So while growing demand of the rubber in the mid 19th century, one of the tribal communities, that is Munduruku people of Brazilian Amazon, who lived in villages on high ground and they were cultivating manioc at that time. And then after that, what they have started? They started to collect latex from the wild rubber trees for supplying to traders. So what was the latex? Latex that was from wild rubber trees. That was a sap of that rubber tree. With the help of that sap or latex, they were making different product of rubber. So gradually, they have started living in trading post and becoming completely dependent on traders. So like this, they have started many different type of trades or different type of other occupation when the new forest law that were enacted by Britishers. In India also, the trade in forest products, that was not new, of course, but from medieval period onward, we have the record of Adivasi communities. They were trading elephants and other goods like hides, horns, silk, cocoon, ivory, then bamboo, spices, fibers, grasses, gums, and resins through the nomadic communities like Banjaras. So many nomadic communities, they were doing this type of trades in India also, especially from forest communities. With the coming of Britishers, but after that, when Britishers came in India, what happened? The trade was completely regulated by the government in India that was run by Britishers. So British government gave many large European trading firms the sole right to trade in forest products of particular areas. So in India, British government, they have started giving these type of rights, sole rights for trading in forest products for particular areas. Grazing and hunting by local people, that was restricted because of that. So in that process, what happened? Many pastoralist and nomadic communities like Korawa, Karacha, Yerukula, of Madras Presidency lost their livelihood because of this this system they have Britishers they have started in India. Some of them began to be called even criminal tribes also, because when they were not getting any work, they have started doing the crimes. So many tribal communities they were called criminal tribes also, and they were forced to work instead of in factories, mines, and even in plantation areas under the government supervision. So this was the you can say condition in India also, how the people they have started many other occupation because of new forest laws were enacted. So not only that, new opportunities of the work that was even done or they have started in another part of our country also. In Assam, both men and women from the forest communities like Santhals and Orons from Jharkhand and Gonds from Chhattisgarh, they were recruited to work on the tea plantation work areas. So these type of tribal communities from Assam, then Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh, they have started doing the work in the tea plantation areas. So their wages were quite low, but again conditions of work that was very hard. This was the again condition of so many tribal communities in India at that time, because new forest laws were implemented in India. Okay, that's all for today. We will see next part in next class. So God bless you. Thank you for joining. Bye.